What is up, Distinguished Degents? It's Money Management again from the Distinguished Degents podcast, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, back from his mini moon, Steven Big Bucks Beta. Big Bucks, take it away,
Yes,
man.
Money Mansman. First of all, shout out to you, and I just want to say thank you for taking the reins on the podcast while I was out. Obviously, doing important degen things such as getting married and enjoying the honeymoon in every way possible. We actually ended up doing a mini moon. My wife now, which is also a weird thing, I have to start saying that.
Holy
My
shit.
wife, yeah, I know. My wife. Not only did she not leave me at the altar, despite all my gambling losses and wins, she actually had started a new job last year, so she did not have a lot of vacation time. So what we ended up doing, long story short, folks, we did a private honeymoon fund instead of a wedding registry. Instead of trying to bum rush a week to St. Lucia, which is what our goal was, we ended up setting up the honeymoon fund. We did a mini moon out to Nellysford, Virginia, which is the Blue Ridge Mountains. Very beautiful sights. We got a little mountain condo all the way up at the top. The views were beyond fucking gorgeous. We spent like 5 days out there visiting some of our favorite breweries and wineries, which is one of our favorite things to do as a couple. So it was just nice to get away for a few days, not worry about handicapping, not having to worry about work, not having to worry about the wedding anymore. It was a very nice relaxing few days where we didn't really have to stress about a lot. So much needed, but as they say, once you come home, it's always back to the grind. And this week 8 slate, I was hoping would be easier. And like every podcast I've been listening to, everything I've been reading, all these sharps are just all over the place with some of these games.
Yeah.
Money Management, I know you went over the 1 o'clock slate already. I had 3 picks out there, and I'm doing this blindly, folks. I'm not doing this with as much research. But Money Management, I mean, what is your, before I get started, give me like what your general thoughts were on the 1 o'clock now that you have handicapped those.
Yeah, no, tough week. Very tough week. A lot of under games, and that's a danger because when you have a lot of games that are predicted to go under, you're thinking potentially a lot of, tight, potentially low scoring games or games that are expected to be blowouts where one team's going to get shut down.
It's
So,
one or the other. It's like a
yeah.
defensive game, or it's going to be like a 30-0, and you don't know what to do. And yeah, I kind of have the same vibes here. I'll start with this one. This one I definitely had as an under pick, but not by much. But it's actually my fade of the week. I'm actually fading again. Fingers crossed it works this time. I'm fading the Jags. I'm taking the Steelers. Home dog. It's not like my favorite situation and where I would say take the money line. The Steelers is a home dog, 6-2-1 ATS. Jags have won 7 of the last 10 in Pittsburgh, including 4 of the last 5 against Mike Tomlin. But you look at the way the Jags have been playing, especially last Thursday when they scaped by against Derek Carr, preventing them from going into overtime. But you look at the other games, they beat Atlanta in London, Buffalo with their 900 injuries in London. They beat the Colts in a system play. They had Gardner Minshew as a backup. And like I mentioned, Derek Carr. Like I think the Steelers have been playing better as of late. Their defense is definitely probably one of the better out of those teams that they have recently beat. And I just think that if you're going to take a spot to really fade the Jags, and it wasn't last week against the Saints, I think this is another spot where Trevor Lawrence could lay an egg on the road.
You could do worse than Tomlin as an underdog, that's for sure.
Definitely. Next pick, I'll go with my under of the week. I'm taking under 35.5 for the Jets and Giants game. I mean, your quarterbacks are Zach Wilson and Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod, who has accounted for 26 points in 2 games. And then Zach Wilson, who has not thrown for a touchdown in 2 straight games. Like, what else do I need to say? Like, this game is going to be the dog shit game of the year at MetLife Stadium. Although I do find it weird, it's not considered neutral site, and the Giants are a home team. And the Jets are still laying 3. I thought that was absurd at first, but then I remembered it's Tyrod Taylor. So,
well, somebody's got to be a favorite.
Well, and think of it this way: like against the Bills at their worst, he only got 9, couldn't get the win. Kami's defense so much worse. He only got 2 touchdowns, and generally Ron Rivera could get that win, and he just forgot how to coach offense. So I'm down on the Giants. I'm still down on the Jets, but like I guess if I had to pick a side, I'd lean the Jets. But this is a dead under game. What offense is there going to be? Yeah. I can't imagine. Like, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I couldn't go anywhere but under. So I actually lean to the Jags. So I don't endorse pick 1, endorse pick 2. What do you got for best bet? 1 o'clock.
My best bet, 1 o'clock. And again, this is probably a Barney play, but I'm taking the Vikings beating the Packers. I'm getting them at -1.5 after coming off a Monday night win. The Packers have lost and failed to cover 3 in a row. And for me, big bucks, that's an auto fade play. You lose 3 in a row, you fail to cover 3 in a row, you're on the auto fade. Can't be bet on. And this Vikings team, they've won 3 of the last 4. They might be on the up and up. And I just think that I know they're saying it's like a buy low on Green Bay. I think it's buy low on the Vikings.
I will say I got a little scared off the game because the home teams won the last 4 in this series. But I will say this was an emotional play because the Vikings were an underdog earlier in the week and now they're a favorite. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I could, but I mean, the line flipping kind of makes sense, though. I mean, yeah. Green Bay loses to the Broncos, who, by the way, that was like the cap off to my wedding weekend. My family from Denver flew in. We got to all watch the game together like a family, and the Broncos came away with the win. So, as ugly as it was, and don't worry, we'll get to the Broncos in here in a bit, folks. Like I said, Green Bay's just on auto fade for me. They're unbettable, and Minnesota, like. I think this is where they're starting to heat up. I think this is where, like, depending on how this Lions team kind of ends the season, this could be where the takeover starts. So, I'm taking the Vikings low.
Yeah, I'll just real quick for your reference. Only best bet sort of play I had under of the week, Packers Vikings. Actually like that game to go under. Vikings, even though they've done pretty well offensively, moving the ball. Had 22 points last week, only scored 19 against the Bears on the road. I could see this being a close game. We know what the Packers' offense is. They're terrible. So I could see this being another like 19-6 game, 19-13 with a Vikings win, but it's not, pretty. So.
It's not a blowout. It's not a good win, but it's a win nonetheless. Like, I could see that. It's not impossible. Kirk Cousins just performed on prime time. Is he going to regress? And then again, it's 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins, and lately this year he's kind of regressed. So I could see it. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah. All right. So I got a lot of best bets. I
can't wait to hear them. Not the games I expected, but like I'm interested to see where you go with this.
Yeah. So,
last quick, I want to give this quick note for the DJs before I forget. Monty Mansman, by the way, not only did he redeem himself as a groomsman, I just want to note that my groomsmen and all 90-plus wedding guests we had, I shit you not, folks, went through $3,000 worth of alcohol. We had 0 returns. Albeit there was 1 case of beer and like 2 cases of White Claw and I think 1 bottle of vodka that like was given back, but they had opened the cases and put it in something else, and it was just like really like
Steve gave away my unopened bottle of Grey Goose that I bought to Caitlin's mom.
That is not true. That is not true.
Where the hell did the Grey Goose go?
It's in my freezer.
Oh shit!
We salvaged it. Yeah, we salvaged it for you, buddy. No, we gave away we gave away a bottle of Tito's because we know you don't like that shit. No. So, and by the way, that is including the $500 of top shelf liquor that our buddy Ben brought. So, by the way, DJ moment of the year, just $3,000 of alcohol, poof, gone, consumed.
Let's be honest, knowing your groomsmen and the people you associate with, probably not a surprise. Probably.
No, it was not a surprise for me. It was more of a surprise for my wife's side of the family, but that's okay. Everybody had a good time. Honestly, all things considered, it was pretty fun.
It was great. It was great.
But let's hope this week 8 slate is just as perfect.
Yeah,
let's keep the high going. Monty Mansman, go ahead. This is your show today. Introduce the next game.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Sorry. See, I'm not used to it here. I'll pull them up. I've been using DraftKings, so just FYI. I'm
Okay.
Pull up the live up-to-date numbers. So, 1 second. Here we go. Next game on the slate. Oh, I like this game. We have the Cleveland Browns. They're traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Seahawks are currently minus 3.5-point favorite at home, minus 185 on the money line. Cleveland plus 154 on the comeback. Over under at a whopping 37.5. The over unders have been crazy this week, so low.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, if the Bucs haven't caught up yet to injuries or caught up to like maybe recency bias. That it is a bit strange.
Yeah. So, Big Bucks, you're joining in for the second half. Why don't you off this one?
I don't have too much for this one, but here's my take. PJ Walker starting again, and he's a 2-0 quarterback in the NFL. I shit you not. He is currently on pace to have more wins than Deshaun Watson in a season than Deshaun did last year.
Deshaun Watson just threw another interception.
Yeah. I personally just don't see 3-0 happening here for PJ Walker, but honestly, anything could happen. Since 2020, Cleveland has been the best team to bet in non-conference games, 11-4 ATS. However, they are kind of going against the trend, or this one's going to go against the trend, but not by much. AFC teams this year so far in the non-conference games, 7-6 straight up, 8-5 ATS, and there's a shit ton this week. But they're going up against the NFC's best team since 2020, going in non-conference games in the Seattle Seahawks. They've gone 10-5 ATS since 2020. And Pete Carroll also off the bye. I know like the numbers aren't really that good, but I just think PJ Walker got the Niners in a weird situation. I think we're starting to see who Brock Purdy really is. We're seeing him. He barely scaped by against Gardner Minshew and the Colts. Kind of caught a lucky break there. And Seattle 3.5 at home against a backup quarterback does seem awfully low. And I know some people are down on the Seahawks team. Not me personally, but I do think the whopping, what would you say, 35.5, like it is stupid low.
Yeah, 37.5. But yeah.
37.5. Not my over of the week, but one of my few unders I have on the card because Seattle's defense has been pretty suspect as of late, and PJ Walker honestly has been performing better at quarterback than Deshaun Watson. So if they want to drop that number down further because it's a backup and give me like that just seems like a dead over game. I think Seattle could drop 35 on their own if they really wanted to. If Geno decides to get it together. I like it just screams like one of those games where like this is where PJ Walker throws like 4 picks against the Seahawks defense. 2 of them are pick sixes. Geno throws for 3 touchdowns. He asked if, people kept receipts. Did he write back? I don't know, but I'm taking the Seahawks here.
I think Big Bucks left his brain in Virginia.
Oof.
Dog of the week, Cleveland Browns plus 3.5.
I don't like this. I don't like this, man.
The number here makes no sense. First off, you mentioned some of the stats. My key one was the Browns, 6 straight covers as underdogs against the NFC. And look, I mean, at the end of the day, Cleveland's defense is the real fucking deal. This Seattle offense has had their struggles. I mean, they didn't look great last week against Arizona, won by 10 points. They struggled against Cincinnati to score, even though they seemed like they were in the red zone every possession. This Cleveland defense is for real. I think they had a down week last week. They got the win. I think they're going to play this Seattle offense tough. And I'm not expecting, I don't know if Cleveland's going to get the win here, but boy, doesn't this look to me like a 2017 game. This
feels like this just feels like the backup quarterback trap. like the Gardner Minshew. He looked really good in the backup performances first game. He then goes and beats Baltimore. So then the next week it's a close line against Jacksonville, and what happens? He gets his ass kicked. Kind of the same thing with like the Andy Dalton situation. They were like, Andy Dalton's coming in. Oh, he looks better than the rookie. He still fails to win. He still fails to get the cover. Like, this just feels like that same kind of game, especially with Seattle. Like, I know they beat Arizona 20-10, but like, I think one of the things you forgot was like, you believed that Arizona was this big scrappy team, and this was like a divisional game, and I think Seattle was on the road too.
Yeah, I'm done with scrappy.
Yeah.
Arizona, as you're going to see in my next handicap.
Speaking of, but
Yeah,
like, I mean, that's my whole thing. Like, I think this is just a
I
trap.
would agree,
It's a trap.
I would agree with you if my pick wasn't. I think Cleveland's defense could make life very difficult for Geno Smith. Like, no offense, I don't think these Seattle offenses world beaters. I definitely think Cleveland's defense could shut this team down 100%.
I can't fault the logic with what I know. Like, I could see it
Just a
happening.
numbers play. This line is too high. Honestly, my dog of the week should have been Tampa because I knew Tampa's line was too big last night. But yeah, this is another one, like 3.5 for this Browns team. It just seems like it's, PJ Walker's going to play. Let's devalue Cleveland. I think this number is too high.
See, and I just think it's weird that it's only 3.5. You would think of PJ Walker. Like, if this was a 5.5, 4.5 even maybe, like, I'd be more willing to, like, hear that side, but 3.5, I mean.
Who knows? Maybe by game time it will be.
We'll see. Yeah, no, we'll keep an eye on this game. I'm wary of your dog of the week, but I have not been good on my dogs either. So let's continue. Move on to the next game.
Now let's get to best bet number 1 on the card for me. Baltimore Ravens going on the road to take on the scrappy. No, they're not scrappy anymore.
Not anymore.
Arizona Cardinals. Ravens laying 9.5 on the road. Over under set at 44.5. -5. Hundo for the Ravens. Arizona on the comeback plus 380. My turn to go first. I've already given it away. Best bet, Baltimore Ravens. It's real simple. Lamar Jackson kills the NFC. I tried to play against that stat last week. I got embarrassed. This Ravens team, they're bullies. Like, they're like the Bills when the Bills are running well. They just beat up on bad teams. They beat the shit out of the Lions last week. And again, I just think, I don't know if you're going to get the same effort from the Ravens this week as they got last week when they were at home. But I just don't think this Arizona team could hang. The Ravens' defense is too good. Lamar's been too good. Their running game's too good. This is going to be a blowout. And the Ravens also seven straight first half wins as road favorites. I would look Ravens first half as well.
That's interesting. So I heard a thing on another podcast where like Arizona tends to be a team that like has done really well in the first half. So they were saying maybe if you wanted to get cute with Arizona, you play them first half. But now that you gave that stat, I'm glad you said that because now that I know that this is going to be a blowout game. I'm with you there. 9.5. That number. The only reason that concerns me is that this just feels like a game that Baltimore could win, but not really give two shits about covering.
Lay down, yeah.
Like, it could be a late game, or for whatever reason, Joshua Dobbs just, like, throws a bunch of, like, hero balls and it works because Baltimore does have tendencies to play to their opponent's skill levels at times. So it wouldn't shock me if this was closer than it could be, or if this was, like, a 13-point lead all game, and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, like, Arizona gets a touchdown late in the fourth. Failed onside kick, and there's the game. You lose the cover. But, no, I'm with you there. Baltimore's the play. Joshua Dobbs just has nothing on offense at this point. I would say Hollywood Brown revenge spot, but I don't think it's Hollywood. I think it's Marquise.
Is he even going to be in? Wasn't he out the last game?
He might have been. I really wasn't paying too much attention for obvious reasons. But, I mean, look, if the Cards were fully healthy and they had Zach Ertz and James Conner off IR and they were starting, I'd honestly give this team a look. But, like, there's just literally the Cards lately, they put some effort in the first half, then they lay down and die. And I just expect this to be another game where that exactly happens. They throw some effort up until the end of the second quarter, and then they lay down and die when Lamar runs in for his third touchdown.
Yeah, I just think they're out talented. And Lamar against the NFC, I learned the hard way last week. You ignore that at your own peril. The guy just kills the NFC.
I tried to warn you about that too, Slate, a little bit.
You did. So
I was worried about that, but yeah. Just one last thing, Arizona. I know they're the home team, and again, AFC teams in the non-conference road games. We're gonna get to one last NFC team. AFC, and I mentioned this before, they have a slight edge when it comes to these non-conference games, especially when it comes down to covering. So, yeah, Baltimore, lay the 9.5. That's my advice, folks.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, real quick, like the under here, the reason why, this Baltimore defense could pitch another shutout. I mean, they could dominate the Cardinals team that's just out of talent. And if the Ravens, especially too, if the Ravens are a little sloppy and run the ball, this could literally be a 24-3 game very easily.
I'd only be worried about the Lamar turnovers. Is this a game Lamar fumbles the ball 3 times? Does he throw 2 interceptions? And then does the Ravens defense?
If it was against the AFC, maybe.
I mean, maybe, but no. I mean, Lamar's looked a little better as of late, especially since the London game. So, yeah, no, I'll lay the 9.5 with Baltimore.
Yeah. All right.
2 games left on the 4 o'clock slate. What's next?
2 games left. Oh, you're gonna like this one. Not really. The Kansas City Chiefs looking for their 175th win in a row against the Broncos. Chiefs laying 7 in Denver.
7? It dropped?
Yep. 7 minus 115. Money line minus 325 for the Chiefs. Plus 260 on the comeback for the Broncos if you want to lose money. Over under.
Yeah, I love my Broncos, but why? Okay, this is one of the very few games this week I listened to the Sharps, and half of them were just you got to take the 7.5 with the Broncos. It's a divisional spot. The Broncos are a home dog. It's over 60% over the last 100 something, and I'm that's 100 games. What have you seen from this Broncos team? Ignoring those stats for 5 seconds, what about this Broncos team in the last few weeks has made you think they're worth a cover at 7.5?
Well,
Mind you,
beat Green Bay.
They barely beat Green Bay. Let's be honest, they barely beat them. We were watching that game, my whole family. They barely beat them. It wasn't close.
You guys almost choked.
Or sorry, it wasn't a blowout. It wasn't it was 19-0 and then Green Bay tried to come back. No, it was literally an ugly back and forth against 2 shit old NFC quarterbacks. It was bad, and that's my problem. If this was a Broncos blowout first half and then a team comeback the Washington game, I'd say, you know what, maybe you do want to get cute. But there was nothing last week I saw from Ross that really screamed to me they're going to be worth taking against Kansas City the week after. Now both have a look ahead. I think the Chiefs have a look ahead to Germany the week after, and I think the Broncos have a look ahead to the bye after this week. So now teams
into the bye, baby. Let's.
And I think that's part of it. I get that, but
get ready to play golf.
My problem was this was 11.5 in Kansas City, or it was 11 in Kansas City, and I think that pushed. Now they're in Denver, and the Chiefs are getting less. There's always one game a year. It comes down to the wire, and it's close, and then the Chiefs just find a way to win. I'm not getting that vibe this time around. I just don't see it, unless Russ balls his heart out. I don't know. What
Russ can have more
this
than 100 yards passing this time around?
I fucking hope so.
Is Jerry Jeudy still on the team? Number one, is he going to have more than 2 catches?
I don't know if we'll have more than 2 catches, but I mean, he should be on the team. He should be on the field. And now, mind you, the one thing I will say this time around that I think will be different is you look at the Green Bay game, you look at the Kansas City game. Defense was playing a lot better, but no Kareem Jackson this time around to get another unnecessary roughness for 15 yards at the worst time. So I don't know. I personally can't. I can't tell people to lose money on Denver again. I did it the last time in Kansas City, and unfortunately, like I lost by half a point. It was very heartbreaking, but I can't do it. Now it's a 7. That could be a push. Like even if it's tied, that's a push. That's not like a field goal game. This is a touchdown game. You're getting if this gets lower, you need to hit Kansas City.
Yeah, that's what I think. I put Denver on my sheet, but I think it's really above 7 Denver, under 7 Kansas City. I don't know. I have a weird feeling there's going to be like a Kansas City sort of gimp spot. Denver generally plays Kansas City tough one time, and I feel like Kansas City got really lucky last week. There were a ton of opportunities, and the Chargers couldn't convert. And it seemed like the last time they played Denver, if Denver had any offense like at all and could literally like do anything, it would have been a closer game. But
I don't know about that.
I think the Chiefs are going to win. It's just a matter of is this going to be another Chiefs game where they go play like shit and win by 6? You know what I mean?
Maybe is this going to be another Broncos game where they're down 3, need to get in field goal range, and Russ does a fumble for 6 back the other way, and now we lose by 10, you know? Yeah. Like, I could see either possibility happening, truth be told. That's why, like, yeah, I mean, under 7, Kansas City. Over 7, honestly, anything under 8. 8 would be my number.
And it's weird because I have a feeling this game's going to, like, be a sneaky over. Like, I don't know why. I just have a feeling this is going to be a little bit of a wacky game, a little bit of a sleepy spot for Kansas City, especially going to Germany next week. Like, I could really see this being like a 28-24 Chiefs win.
I can't fault you for the over, but I think the number was too high. I think I had it at 47.5. Too high again. It's an underplay. Now, mind you, last week I did the same thing with the Chargers, and you warned me. You said by halftime, you're going to be regretting this.
Jesus,
and I was. Like
a bet was dead. That was crazy.
I thought it was. And then I look and I'm like, it's almost the end of the fourth quarter, and this score hasn't changed. Like, what the hell? And I was keeping tabs on it. And literally it took to like the final, I think 4 minutes when Kansas City got that last touchdown to push the over. Part of me was pissed, but the other part of me was like, fuck, like I should have just hedged it the minute I could. Like, I don't know what the hell. But no, that's okay. I see this as another under game. I just don't. What has Russ done in the last few weeks to tell you like he's even going to throw for 100 yards or get 2 touchdowns to let this happen? I don't know, man. Like, this could be another ugly, I could see this being an ugly 23-16. Yeah. I could see this being 24-16, 24-14. Like, it's not going to be pretty, guys. I almost don't want to watch the game. That's how bad it is.
Oh, by the way, you could have, real quick, and then we'll move on to the last 4 o'clock game. Lost a bet last night. Pretty much like with the bonus bets and stuff, got to about even last night, but lost a bet. Mike Evans, 39 receiving yards. He needed 40.
Oh,
bad beat Mansman came back. Oh, shit, look at this. Okay.
Damn.
Cincinnati Bengals traveling to San Francisco, and this was a change from earlier. The line is up to 5. +5 for Cincinnati.
What?
In San Fran. Over under 43.5. 225 on the money line for the Niners. +185 on the comeback for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think it is my
turn. It's your turn. Yeah, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. This was one that every time I listened to something new, read something, it was always something different.
Yeah. So this to me, I'm ignoring the numbers about San Francisco covering 10 straight games at home, winning 11 straight at home. I think this number's too high. I see this being a close game, and now the number's 5. Cincinnati coming off a bye makes it. I'm a little concerned. You know me, I generally don't like to buy teams off the bye with bad coaches. But I see it being close. Joe Burrow with the chance to heal a little bit. A San Francisco team that struggled the last 2 weeks. Like,
So wait, hang on. You think Cincinnati's coach is bad?
yeah, I don't think their coach is good at all. That's just an opinion.
Interesting take.
I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are good. I don't think their coach is that good. But I think in
Okay,
this
continue.
spot, like I think this is going to be a close game. I could see San Francisco winning because they've lost two straight. You're sort of. I thought you were going to be buying low with the Niners. I guess not. If the spread.
Well, especially too, Brock Purdy's out. You're getting Sam Darnold.
Well, I don't know. Is he confirmed out?
Yeah, he's out.
Well, that's shot. Why is this 5?
Brock Purdy's doubtful. He's on the concussion protocol.
Wow, this is shocking.
That's my problem with this. Like, that's what I don't get. Like,
no, I don't like.
Hold on. Purdy could clear concussion protocol Saturday.
Maybe that's why the line's coming up. To me, I'm not overreacting on the injuries. This handicap is not about Purdy. I think Purdy plays. I think this is a much closer game than I think this is a 3-4 point game. And the fact that you're getting 5 is kind of shocking to me. So
I think
Bengals would be the play here.
I hammered this at 4.5. I might hammer this at 5. If this goes up 5.5, I'll hit it. This might be the game I ladder bet every time the line moves. I might just. I don't like. In what world? Say it is Brock Purdy. Look at how he's been the last few weeks. You're getting Joe Burrow off the bye with the injuries, and we saw how he did in Seattle. Or no, it wasn't Seattle. I'm sorry. We saw what he did in LA. No, fuck, he was home too. Shit, I'm trying to fucking think. That's right, he's on the road. That's probably the big concern is Joe Burrow on the road versus at home. When he's at home and he's catching 5, probably a safe bet. But yeah, like again, like you look at the number, do you get scared off of it? Because it's like, why is this going up? Why?
Brock Purdy's clearing concussion protocol, so people are. Barney is starting to bet the Niners, but this isn't the San Francisco 49ers. The last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with this team. They're not who they were the first 5 weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not only doing the points. I hammered this on the money line. This is actually my dog of the week.
Oh wow. Okay, that's bold.
Joe Burrow off the bye. It's Sam Darnold, and let's be honest. If you get Brock Purdy the way he's been playing the last few games off a concussion, not convinced he's going to beat Joe Burrow. If it is Sam Darnold, think of it this way. He got benched for Brock Purdy.
Is Deebo Samuel playing? Like, maybe that's the more important guy.
Does that matter? I mean, maybe it does. Maybe he is the offense more than we think. But, like, think of it this way. Do you really think Darnold could beat out Joe Burrow?
I'm sorry.
I don't think he could.
No. I think you lose that loss in Minnesota. That was a bad loss.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost to primetime Kirk Cousins. Not many people do that.
Only the Chicago Bears have pulled that off.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Did not practice. Maybe Dre Greenlaw's coming back. Maybe that's what they're.
But you're getting the Bengals as a road dog. 13-6 ATS since 2020. They're 11-6-1 ATS against the NFC since 2020. Since last season, 6-1-1 against the NFC. The Bengals against NFC teams, fade them at your own risk. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you here.
I honestly would have took the Bengals despite before the injuries or before the losses. This was a game I had circled. Like, you probably want to take Cincinnati here. The Niners are bound to lose a couple games, and this was one I thought it could happen. So, yeah, no, dog of the week. Give me the Bengals. Plus that one's, I think on FanDuel right now it's plus 176. 172 right now. And on DraftKings, you're looking at 185. So go on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog of the week here. This I would have picked this regardless of the situation, unless Joe Burrow was out or something drastic like that. But no, I just don't. I don't get it. Other than the prior precedents of the Niners being good at home when they are healthy, that's not in play here, and that's my problem.
Yeah. No, agree. Okay, we got 2 left.
Let's do it.
Sunday Night Football. This is going to hurt to say.
What the fuck are they doing?
The Chicago Bears. No Justin Fields, probably.
Tyson Bagent.
You didn't even say his name right, but that's good. That goes to show you this is what we're watching fucking Sunday Night Football. Chicago Bears going to the Raucous, the great home atmosphere. The Los Angeles have no Chargers. Chargers minus 8.5 at home in the friendly confines of SoFi Stadium. Over under set at 46.5, minus 440 on the money line for the Chargers.
Okay, so real quick, we're driving down to Virginia to go on our mini moon, and we have to we're going down. So, folks, for those who don't know, we live in Maryland. I'm driving down Route 15, and we end up going down. We're just taking that all the way down to 81, Route 81, US 81. I'm on the highway. We cut through West Virginia. All of a sudden, I just see a sign. Shepherd University, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I go, oh, shit. Hey, Kate, if you get a chance, pull over for me. And because I really want to see, like, what this school's about. I go one exit up. The school's gone. That's where this, I don't even know. Apparently, I said his name wrong. Tyson, is it Bagent?
Bagent? I think it's Badgett.
Badgett? No, it's Bagent with the ENT.
What is it really? Did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
Well, goes to
you might have. I think you did.
But anyway.
Yeah, no, Tyson Bagent literally came from this small-ass D2 school that was one exit. Mind you, we also passed through James Madison University that had at least 3 to 4 exits. So to give you an idea of, like, where this guy came from and, like, now he's starting for the Chicago Bears. As an undrafted free agent. You literally couldn't even see the football field. That's like how small this school was. I can't really express. I thought it was hilarious and just wanted to share that. But anyways, okay, really, we're getting another primetime Brandon Staley game. Really? Well, how many times do we have to go on? By the way, I hope everybody ripped your Justin Herbert MVP tickets last week when he fucking, or did they have the bye last week? I can't fucking remember. It felt like a bye because I just know they fucking lose every time.
Oh my God. No, they lost to they lost to the Chiefs. When they had like 70, when the Chiefs literally like turned the ball over 15 times and the Chargers couldn't do anything.
I mean, like, what? Part of me just looks at the Bears and they're like, and I'm just like, really? Is Tyson Bagent going to be their future? Or is this, like I mentioned before with PJ Walker, I'm like, is this another like backup quarterback trap where like they beat the Raiders, they looked pretty good against a bad team, now we're getting them plus 8.5, I kind of want to take them, and it just feels like it's such a Barney play. But there's no fucking way I'm betting on Brandon Staley ever. Not ever this year. Jesus Christ, this guy. How does he still have a job? Where is the market for first head coach fired?
I mean, if
Brandon Staley loses, he might be fired after this week.
I think
honest to God.
I think you can make an argument that should happen.
I mean, I don't care that the Bears look better. The Raiders are that bad. I think we knew that going into the season. I think we knew that the minute Jimmy G was out. Like, the Bears, the fact they only caught 3, now they're catching 8.5. Like, I wouldn't have been surprised if that was the case, like, had they lost to the Raiders.
Bears have 2 wins, too, same as the Chargers.
That's so disgusting to hear. I hope Chargers bettors division, Super Bowl, playoff appearance. Yeah, I hope you rip them. Like, rip them now, guys.
I mean, honestly, every year you do the same thing. Justin Herbert, this is the year.
Every year, I just get on the Futures episodes, and I'm like, guys, what are you doing? The Chargers are the Chargers. They're not that good.
It's like those people, to show my Buffalo fandom. Someone yesterday I saw on Twitter, oh yeah, there goes my Josh Allen no interception ticket. I'm like, why the fuck do you have a Josh Allen no interception ticket? It's like Justin Herbert to lead a fourth quarter comeback. When has he ever done that? Now, having said that, the Chargers are the play here, and I actually really like them at 8.5.
God, that's disgusting.
This is sadly where the Chargers go. They beat up on some scrub ass team, and the Bears haven't covered 7 straight after a win. By the way, they're terrible off of wins. This is the game.
That's true.
This is the game where the Chargers get fat on a bad team. Justin Herbert throws for like 400 yards, and is like, I wonder if the Chargers are going to make a run now. Yeah. Chargers are going to win this game by a lot, and it's going to suck.
I just want to say the Bears have covered this number in 4 straight, including those 2 wins. They've also only lost by 6, and they only lost by 3 to Denver.
Bro, I don't know how their defense is going to stop the Chargers.
I don't think it's actually – so this is my over of the week.
Yeah. This is actually my over of the week, too. Double over of the week.
I mean, there really isn't another spot for it other than here, but Brandon Staley is a shit head coach. For someone who's defensive-minded, I've never seen a head coach give up more points than Vance Joseph. I mean, let's be honest. Brandon Staley is like, fuck the hot seat. He's probably going to be canned after this week if he doesn't win. I don't know how the Chargers organization keeps a head coach like Brandon Staley if they lose to Chicago at home in primetime. Like, at that point, you're like, it's negligence if you keep him on further to waste Justin Herbert's career. If you really believe Justin Herbert's your future and your franchise, this is negligence.
Insanity. If they lose this game, I don't know how.
No, my play Bears 8.5. Honestly, just because, like, and don't get me wrong, this feels like a trap. This feels like the backup quarterback Tyson Bagent had one good game. Now let's bet them. But the Chargers are that bad. Their defense is that pitiful that they can make a Tyson Bagent look good. I mean, like, they let Dak Prescott like have a game there was no interceptions on. You know, or I don't know like how you talk yourself into the Chargers 8.5. I guess that's my problem.
I just think this is and then we'll move on to the last one. I just think this is the type of game where like the Chargers need a win desperately, and they're gonna beat up a fucking bad team. I don't think the Bears are. I mean, the Bears in prime time. You have an undrafted rookie quarterback. Bright lights in LA. This is not going to be a good game.
I will say the home team has won 3 straight on Sunday Night Football, so like I think the Chargers will win. But like, I'm literally looking through this Chargers schedule right now, and I'm trying to find a game where like it's like 9 points their way, and like there's nothing.
No, this will be their biggest. If they lose this game, oh my God, I'm discounting the Chargers are getting downgraded substantially.
I'm down on them now. Like I've been down on them all year, but like I just don't. 8.5 just seems ridiculous. Like if this was like 4.5, 5.5, I would definitely be on your side. But 8.5,
I don't think you realize how bad the Bears are. The Bears are.
Well, no, I'm well aware of how bad the Bears are. I'm just saying, like lately. They've been playing closer than what this number is saying. And I just don't think the books have really kept up with how bad the Chargers are. That's why it's still 8.5. And I think it's like a backup quarterback situation. I don't think it's really caught up yet. And I think, and to be honest with you, I know it's been one game, but like, say what you will about Tyson Bagent. Even you said it the week he came in for Justin Fields. He looked a lot better than Justin Fields in that offense. And I'm not saying like the Bears will win. I'm just saying like this game could be a lot closer than we think because the Chargers have yet to really have any type of blowout situation all year. Why the fuck would I expect it now against a Bears team who has also been playing pretty close? Just seems a bit fishy to me. But like I get it. You're probably right. Honestly, you're probably right.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, anyway,
I don't know. But yeah, get to the last game.
Last game on the card, we have the Vegas Raiders coming after their worst loss of the season They are going to Detroit on Monday Night Football to take on the Lions. Lions laying 8 points at home, over under at 46, minus 380 on the money line. Vegas plus 300 on the comeback. I guess it's my turn. This is best bet number 2. I'm doubling down with the Lions, minus 8. I don't know if you've seen some of the reports out of Vegas. It is coming apart for the Raiders. They're talking about issues with
bad.
the coach. Hunter Renfrow wants out. They're complaining. The players are saying they get blamed for issues. And you're coming off against the Lions team that, let's be honest, with Dan Campbell getting embarrassed last week in Baltimore in prime time at home. You better believe the Lions are coming to bite some kneecaps off. This is my first half play of the week 2. This is going to be, I expect the Lions to come out hot early, and I think this Raiders team is going to lay down and die. 6 straight losses against the NFC North for the Raiders, 4 straight covers, ATS, at home for the Lions, I believe, as favorites. Definitely.
I mean, the Lions, let's be honest, it's the Lions at home in the Dome with Jared Goff. The Raiders just lost to a backup quarterback in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, what more do I need to say? Lions all day, every day, 100% endorse. Go Detroit. Let's go. It's not good for my Minnesota Vikings division ticket, but honestly, like...
I like the over in this game, too. I think the Lions are going to put up a amount of points.
I like the under, actually. I literally, Jimmy G is coming back, and there was no difference in quarterback between him and Brian Hoyer. I have no hope for this fucking... I don't know. Like, so let me get this straight. Like, Devontae Adams isn't getting targets. Jacoby Myers is. Hunter Renfrow wants out. Jimmy G's coming off like a neck injury. Josh McDaniels is like the next quarterback on the hot seat, ready to get fucking fired.
Josh Jacobs,
where do they score
him anymore? They can't run the ball anymore.
Yeah, I mean, where do you see this Raiders team scoring?
I don't think Garoppolo is making it through this game. I mean, this pass rush is going to murder the shit out of him.
I mean, honestly, you should go bet this 20-6, like exact score. I mean, the Lions are just known for it at home, 20-6. They've done it twice already.
I don't know. I think the Lions could put up a ton of points in this game. I could see the Raiders defense getting down early and quitting. Like, I think this Raiders team, if they get down early, they are going to fold up shop. Like, I think they're ready to quit. I really do.
Jimmy G has returned to practice. He is poised to start, according to Bleacher Report, but
I don't think he's making it through the home game. Aiden Hutchinson had like 3 sacks.
Yeah, by the way, thanks for that. Thanks for your slight, by the way, with our fantasy trade, since you gave me Devontae Adams. Glad to see that fucking worked out for me. But Jordan Addison.
I got Jordan Addison and a number 2. Oh, my God. And a second round pick. Wow, that was a fucking steal.
I thought Jimmy G would be better, but clearly fucking not. This guy sucks. Do
you know how pissed off I am that the Bills don't have... Don't get me wrong. Dalton Kincaid, shout out to him. He balled the fuck out last night. It was great. God, I wanted Jordan Addison. Could you imagine him and Stephon Diggs? God, but...
Oh, that was just... And Gabe Davis in the slot, too.
God, damn, that's beautiful. But, yeah, no, this is a Lions walkover.
Lions walkover, 100%. I don't see how it otherwise... By the way, home teams, Monday Night Football, 5-2 straight up in ATS on the season.
Yeah, there we go.
So, endorse. All right. Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, thanks so much for coming back. I know you were busy with your honeymoon and everything, but thanks for coming back.
It ended on a great note. I kind of wanted to I was itching to jump back in, and honestly, like, if I had gotten consistent insights, maybe I'd have taken but honestly, like, I kind of missed the podcasting. I missed the insights. I was interested to get your takes too, so I'm glad I got to jump in. This actually helped out a lot.
So real quick recap, my underplay, and normally I don't do an over and an under, but I'm getting suckered. Underplay of the week, Minnesota, Green Bay, like the under in that game. Overplay of the week, Bears Chargers. I endorse that. Obviously, we have the double over of the week. Co-best bets, Baltimore -9.5, Lions -8. Strangely enough, those teams played each other last week. And then dog of the week, Cleveland Brownies +3.5.
Gotcha. Fade of the week, fading the Jags one more time. I'm taking Pittsburgh +1.5. Under of the week, I'm taking under 35.5 for the Jets and Giants game at MetLife Stadium, even though I think it's a neutral site. Best bet, Minnesota -1.5 against the Packers. Dog of the week, Joe Burrow and the Bengals get it done against San Francisco, +172 on FanDuel, +185 on DraftKings. And yeah, consistent over the week. I'll give a real quick flashpoint with my other games real quick. Just Philly to cover, Indy to win and cover, Houston. Sorry, no, I didn't have that one. I had Dallas to win and cover, and I think I had Tennessee as another dog. So there was a couple other games I had, but I won't get to it. We'll leave.
Yeah, all right, man. All right.
I'll leave it for the Twitter. I'll put it out on the Twitter later. How about
there you go. What a tease. What a tease. But
so yeah, guys, you got to check out our Twitter at twitter.com/DGensPodcast.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you want big bucks picks.
See, make them earn it. Make them earn it. But
there you go. All right, thanks for having me on, man. I'm glad to be back.
No, of course, man. Good to have you back. Good night, D-Gents. Gave you a lot of picks. As always, make that motherfucking money.
Motherfucking money. Good night, D-Gents.
Good night.